Chris, are the Warriors clearly the best team in the NBA right now?
Well, they're the best team. But I think San Antonio is close. I hope we get a game tonight. I don't know if everybody's playing. I don't know if it's been
Whoa. I thought
announced yet.
all this talk about rested players and somebody might sit out?
Look, I hope we get a game.
Golden State or San Antonio?
Yeah, either one. I mean,
I don't know.
we
but
might
Steve
get a
Kerr
bunch of
said
reserves.
after the game, we're
He
going
said he's
full
playing?
tilt.
Okay,
We're going to go try to win this game.
Good. I'm going to pull one out of your hat, Skip, and I'm going to say I've been right about this team all year.
Okay.
All right. I feel good about picking them to win it all. A while ago, 3 weeks ago, when everybody thought the sky was falling and they were in trouble and there's turmoil and Draymond's an issue, I said, don't worry about it. When everybody said, oh, they can't win without KD, I said, give them time. There's an adjustment period. And right now, they look like the team that won 73 games last year.
Yep.
Steph Curry, people have slept on him. He still is the same player he was last year. But when you bring in a 30-point scorer, you're not going to do what you did last year.
Correct.
And so they look great. I've got great confidence in them winning it all. I do give San Antonio a shot because they have two areas that I wouldn't say that Golden State lacks, but that could be their kryptonite. One is inside punch, okay, with Gasol and with Aldridge. And two is toughness. They're a very tough team, the Spurs. And they're going to be physical with Golden State and get Steph off of his path when he's running off screens and stuff. So I give them a shot, but I definitely think Golden State is the best team. One thing is when they get Durant back, it'll be another adjustment period. So they got to hope they get him back with a few games left in the regular season so that they can adjust by the time they get to the playoffs.
I still believe no KD, no jewelry. Now,
Well, he's coming back.
But
There's
here-
no question about that.
Are they the best team right now without KD? I would say San Antonio is slightly better than them without KD. KD comes back to the mix, Golden State's the better team. And the difference in what they're doing right now, Skip, is that, as Chris said, they're readjusting to playing without Kevin because they played 2 years without Kevin. They integrated him into their system. They're used to playing with him. Now he goes down for a month. Now it's going to take some time to get back used to playing the way we played without him. But Steph Curry in this 8-game winning streak, 25 points a game, 48% shooting from the field, 43% from three, and 8 assists. He's Steph Curry.
If he can stay on that three-point pace,
but you know
when
what?
Durant gets back?
The guy, you know what? And Draymond is the glue. He's going to do all the dirty work. He's going to get the charges. He's going to get everybody pumped up. But don't sleep. Klay Thompson is really the guy. Klay Thompson can heat up. I would rather Steph get hot than Klay because Klay can go get 33, 37, get almost 60. When you can score 60 points in 29 minutes, that's the last guy you want to get hot. But Steph Curry is being Steph Curry again. He was playing with that swag. He was shooting the ball, turning and running, pulled up in Clint Capella's face from 28. I'm back. It's going to be a very good game tonight. You know what? For the first time, I'm going to watch a Spurs game from start to finish because it's just like getting a 5-year-old to eat asparagus. I don't want this.
Really? It takes someone who knows and appreciates basketball to love the San Antonio Spurs. So I guess that eliminates you from the conversation.
I'm watching this more because I'm watching the Warriors. I want to see them drain like 43s on them.
To me, when Patty and Ginobili come in with the second unit, it's as exciting a basketball as I see, and I watch everything every night. But just tonight, maybe you should check out what happens when the second unit comes in. Because with Gasol shooting three-pointers, which is his new forte now, and Patty and Manu just throwing crazy passes all over the floor and shooting threes like crazy, it is a blast to watch. Now, back to the question. I'm going to go, had to use this as a paperweight. I'm going to go big picture, rock, paper, scissors for you, because this is how I look at the biggest picture right now. I still think the Cavs have the psychological advantage over Golden State. What happened on Christmas Day? I think that could happen again if they do get back both teams to the finals.
Okay.
Because there's just something going on there. I thought LeBron should have closed them out 2 years ago without Kevin Love and Kyrie. He had them on the ropes and on the run. Okay, There's something about the way they can defend that team. They just get it, and they get physical with them. Again, they haven't been playing any defense, but they're capable because I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Last year, they got really physical with Steph and Clay, especially Steph, and I know he was a little gimpy on his knee, but they just took those guys out of what they like to do, and I was impressed. But I also think this. If somehow the Spurs get to the finals, I would love them over Cleveland because I think the Spurs have Cleveland's number. But big picture now, back to the original question. At this moment, I cannot say that San Antonio could beat Golden State in a 7-game conference if it's the finals or whatever it is. I just
without
don't-
Kevin
What
Durant?
is it? What is it that worries you for the Spurs?
The big X factor now in the whole big picture is one Kevin Durant. We're not talking about adding Kevin Smith back into the rotation. We're talking about Kevin Durant.
MVP.
He's an MVP, and they were having a hard time with him, even though they had huge firepower, figuring out their late game pecking order. And it bit them in Cleveland on Christmas Day. Whose turn is it? Are you going to do it or am I going to do it? And they didn't know. And all of a sudden, they had a 14-point lead, and they couldn't close the deal. Remember that? With 8 minutes left. And finally, Kyrie said, enough of this, and he ended.
He dusted that cape off.
He did. Okay, maybe he wore the cape then, right?
Bron!
It's actually his cape to start with, but that's
my
okay.
goodness.
So on the Spurs, they're getting a little better and a little better. I still don't love them defending perimeter players. They have a hard time with Portland because those 2 guys can light it up.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you again, Nurkic is becoming
He
a
was
star.
great last night.
Hey, he was
They
big
just
time.
have to figure out how to incorporate him with the 2 guards.
So they scare me in the playoffs for a San Antonio matchup because San Antonio doesn't have point guard defender types. So they'll have a hard time with
I don't
Steph.
think the Spurs will get him though,
Okay?
because it's Portland's 8 right now. So
Okay, well,
they'll
whatever. But I'm
probably
saying
get
that's
Golden
the
State.
kind of team who went into San Antonio, just 2 weeks ago and beat them soundly, I thought. You know, it was just like, wow, that Nurkic guy is just too good.
So do you think Golden State can beat San Antonio tonight without Kevin Durant?
They have refound their 73-win rhythm.
Okay.
And I didn't think the Spurs could deal with them last year. So I would give them a slight edge without Kevin Durant. But if you throw Kevin back in, I think I got a better chance with Kevin.
I want the Spurs
San
tonight.
Antonio.
I want the Spurs
Well,
tonight.
Because of the chemistry issue of how do you do it?
I think that's a great point, and I think that's what the league whether it's Cleveland or San Antonio,
Yep.
they have to hope that there are chemistry
There's
issues.
some
Not
issue,
that guys
right.
aren't getting along,
No.
but just that
No, it
it's
just
hard
doesn't
to work
click
it out.
because you've taken him out of the meat of the schedule
Yeah.
here, and all of a sudden you're just going to throw him back in for the playoffs, and he's not quite right yet. If everything I read,
He may
was true.
not be fully
Yeah,
right
that's
when
what
he
I'm
comes
saying.
back.
Yeah.
They look just as good right now
Oh, do
without
they?
as they ever looked with him.
Hey, that was a
I got-
showcase last night.
I'll
in
take the
Houston.
Spurs. I'll take the Spurs for some due tonight.
I'm
take
not
Golden
doing
State.
it. I don't trust it.
Golden
let's go.
State
I don't
needs to
trust
beat
it.
them.
Scared? What you mean you don't-
They need to
I
beat
got-
them.
trust
That
it.
sounds like he's trying to jinx
I got
you.
the
Yeah.
I
Spurs.
know. Okay, you can have them.
You got Golden State
He really got this.
for a 2-leader due.
I love the
For
Spurs.
2-leader to do.
Nope.
Why
I
do you
don't
guys
trust
do
it.
anyway? You don't
Okay, well, I
really
take
I don't
do
Golden
trust
State.
it. Golden State is playing at a little higher
Well, then
level
why
right
would you
now.
take them?
I'm not going to take them. I'm
The
sorry.
Spurs, after what they just did to Cleveland,
Yeah, scared.
Hey,
that's a high
You know
level.
what? Cleveland did it to Cleveland. And did you see what my starters shot from the three-point line in the Cleveland game? They were 1 for 14 were my starters. I was 0 for 7, and Danny Green was 1 for 6, and you're saying take them against those guys? I'm not going to do it yet.
I said,
Yet.
no, I said I'll give you Golden State tonight. I'll take the Spurs in tonight's game.
Oh, you got the Spurs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bet due against my own team. Why would I
Well,
do
okay,
that?
well, I take Golden State.
Well, what are
Well,
you
that's a
doing?
lot of conviction.
That's just crazy.
I'm just trying to get a
You're
bet.
just trying to get a bet.
Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, half the cost.